Like most Black folks, I assumed our melanin protected us from the sun. Turns out it doesn't. Picture it. It was a beautiful summer day, so I decided to take my then 2-year-old to the splash pad. The sun was at its peak, the rays were getting hotter and hotter on my skin, and that's when I thought to myself, do they make sunscreen for Black people? Protecting my son's skin was now on my radar, and I needed help in figuring out how to do so. It took becoming a parent for me to figure out and care about this, and I wouldn't find a solution for another 2 years. But we'll get to that later. It was 2015, and like most new moms, I was in online global communities. We would share and get advice on how not to panic the first time they sleep through the night, how to get them to eat more vegetables, I'm still working on that one, and how soon is too soon for a cell phone. But being Black adds more layers to motherhood, like finding the right sunscreen. So I went to these mom groups and I asked, and the answer I got, silence. Most things to do with race, even this simple question, typically are. This isn't unusual. Look at mom influencers on Instagram or commercials for baby products, and you'll see that motherhood isn't made for, studied, or celebrated with women who look like me in mind. So much so that in 2021, an image of a Black pregnant woman with her fetus went viral. It was the first time Black pregnancy was depicted in medical illustrations, like ever. It was sadly revolutionary. When I was a kid, my favorite part about going to the toy store, the hot pink section. I was obsessed with Barbie. And growing up in the 80s, white dolls were the default. Now, she would occasionally have a Black friend named Christy, but she made a rare appearance like Black History Month does. And when I got hurt, I plastered myself with those flesh-tone Band-Aids. I don't know about you, but those nude Band-Aids are definitely not nude on me. Today, we have Doc McStuffins and dolls that celebrate different hair textures and shades of brown. Even Crayola and Band-Aid finally heard the plight of Black parents everywhere and introduced different shades of skin tones. Crayons and dolls are the lighter conversations that Black moms have. But eventually, they get heavier. Like when 5-year-olds are called the N-word on school playgrounds. 5-year-olds. Or, like in my own little brother's case, we have to move schools after his 3rd grade teacher calls him a monkey. I wasn't gonna do it. When other kids are thinking about candy and Santa, our kids and us as their moms are preparing for racism. It is a poison we cannot protect them from. Navigating the education system as a Black parent, in one word, is exhausting. And it starts with trying to figure out what school to enroll them into. Here's an example. My son's first school in the East End of Toronto raised $11,000 in 1 year. We ended up moving, and his new school raised $14,000 in 3 days. We have to choose between schools that have better access to tech, better resources, better field trips, but with less diversity, versus under-resourced schools with kids and teachers that look like them. And while there's no right or wrong answer, it certainly feels like there is. I'm dealing with the consequences of that as my son is grappling with feeling like the chocolate chip in the cookie. Moral of the story, we need more chocolate chips. And who doesn't like more chocolate chips? I started Black Moms Connection in 2015 to answer that original sunscreen question. I wanted to ask Black questions and get Black answers. We share and connect with each other, and today we're an online global village of almost 30,000 with chapters from Atlanta to Alberta to Asia. In 2016, we went from 400 members to 4,000 in 2 months. It was after Trayvon Martin and Black Lives Matter was created. Black moms needed a space to say, I'm afraid for myself, I'm afraid for my son, without being told we're just bringing up the race card, or that others don't see color. There was no retort of all lives matter, because Black women know more than anyone that is 100% untrue. If all lives did matter, BMC wouldn't need to exist. Now, we know what people think and say about us. We're just ghetto baby mamas, leeching off the welfare system. We're having multiple babies with men floating in and out of jail. We're always single, never in loving partnered relationships. We buy Jordans over jackets. We prioritize basketball over books. Our kids only know Drake instead of jazz. But stereotypes and systemic biases are the reason why 42% of all the kids in the care of the Children's Aid Society of Toronto are Black. If my own mom, who became a widow when I was 2, hadn't moved us north of the city, me and my siblings could have easily been a part of that statistic. It's important to note, Black mothers are not a monolith. I myself go against what society thinks of Black single mothers. However, my son plays chess and basketball. He's got Nikes and stocks, except for they're not doing so well right now. Think about that. I'm a part of and lead a community that has more flavors than Baskin Robbins. And there's some moms who are like me and others who aren't, but we all share the same challenges in raising our Black children. Black Moms Connection mission is to provide culturally relevant tools and resources to empower and educate the Black mom and her family, like providing emergency grants so she can buy formula, or making a payment to a rent and mortgage company when she's at risk of housing insecurity, or creating financial literacy programs taught by Black professionals to help her make more, save more, and create generational wealth. Today, moms have been able to do amazing things like knock out $20K in debt, buy their first investment properties, and get their kids into stocks and savings. When you fund and support Black moms, amazing things can happen, like finally finding the right sunscreen. BMC is like my second born. Like my first, I have lofty goals for it to grow and be great. One of those is to open a 24-hour childcare center. First, for selfish reasons, sometimes a mom just wants to go to the movies and not have to share the popcorn. Secondly, and most importantly, it will help moms working outside 9-to-5 jobs and be a game changer for her to have a place to drop her children off while she's at work. I leave you with this challenge. Go to Google image search and type in the word mom. Pay attention to how long you're scrolling before you see a woman who looks like me. If you want to go one step further, type in Black mom. But hint, some of those results may not be safe for work. But then what? Remember what I said earlier about when you fund and support Black moms, great things can happen? Find a way to do that in a way that is meaningful to you. This is why I'm here today, to pull the curtain back on a hidden and silent problem that faces Black moms every day in big and small ways. Healthy moms equal healthy families, cities, and economies, and we all win when that includes us all. Thank you.